The Braverns as good as these?
I think so, no?
I don't know. I've never eaten a Braver.
What I don't understand, the Braverns are the first ones I saw that were not Delicious, Empire, or Macintosh. Used to be you only had Delicious, Empire, and Macintosh. And Granny Smith, which I don't like. And then suddenly, what was it, 10 years ago or something? These other ones showed up. Where'd they come from?
Are these from Japan?
I have no idea where they're from.
Fuji?
Does it say? Produce of USA.
No. So it's a brand name.
So, what happened 10 years ago or so?
10 years ago, Max fell out of favor. I know that because I helped tear down the Macintosh orchard with a friend of mine
10 years ago?
20 years ago.
They fell out of favor.
We wanted to plant Delicious.
But the Delicious don't taste like anything.
Good ones do.
I must not be tasting good ones. They taste like crunchy, wet, and not too sweet, but no flavor.
Huh. But this apple is wonderful.
Wonderful. Ken, would you like to say something?
It's been a most enjoyable evening, scintillating conversation, wonderful company. I fear I'm being summoned by my butler to retire for the evening.
What time do you guys go to bed, Johnny?
12 o'clock?
Do you watch TV at night? What book are you reading now?
I haven't started a new one. I got a bunch of different things I'm looking at.
I'm reading
Not in a
book
book
on-
right now.
We just started a book on prayer, written by two Smith College professors.
Did I say it's a good thing?
Very good. New York Times Book Review gave it a very good reference.
Of all the fucking things,
It's good.
I think it's a waste of time.
It's a book about prayer. It's not a prayer.
They're sneaking in the back door.
I don't think so. Oh, tell her what happened to Rebecca.
You tell them what happened to Rebecca.
Why?
What happened to her?
Rebecca calls up her father a couple of days back and says there's something in her textbook on the philosophy of education she has to show him. And she shows him, and there's a chapter on Christianity. And it says, are you going to read the paper while I'm telling
No,
the
you
story?
listen to it.
It says that it's introducing the teacher Jesus, and his name is Jesus Christ, and he was killed by the Jews, and then on the third, after he died, he was he rose from the dead 3 days later, and this is like in the introduction about Jesus as a teacher in a book on philosophy of education. Down the road, several chapters further, you'll get John Dewey, Maria Montessori, people like that, along at the before.
Did they rise from the dead too?
No, nothing like that is discussed about them. But then you have Plato and Socrates before, and it mentions that he learned his ethics and stuff at the synagogue school. There were no synagogues then. There was a temple. He was in Jerusalem, and there was a temple. There was a synagogue up in the Galilee, but that was not where he was as a child. And there's a timeline in the next pages or two. It says his birth, and then it says when he rose from the dead. And Rebecca says, isn't this like what they believe? I mean, shouldn't they be saying this is what Christians believe? Like a quote? I mean, what's going on here? And we were sort of appalled. And we looked at this book. It was a Prentice Hall book. It's written by a woman from a Catholic background who teaches at a Catholic university. And the teacher, Rebecca's teacher at Greenfield Community College, is mentioned as one of the people who did reviews of the book for the author. And she's the head of the department. I don't know what department there is. Oh, education, the education department. So we talked to her about what all this means. I talked to her about Nostra Aetate, and I went over all the material with her. We talked about what could the teacher, how could the teacher respond? What are her techniques? What are the things she should be discussing? Because she was going to handle it.
What's the question?
What's this doing in a textbook for public school students?
Rebecca want to know that?
Yeah, talking about making faith issues into facts.
Did you read the article?
Yeah, we read it. It was outrageous. It was like really upsetting. But she was going to handle it. And if she couldn't handle it, then we would step in. But she was going to be the one to handle it. So we discussed all the possible. We did a little role playing because she was a little nervous about how to handle this. We told her she should not discuss it in class. She should make an appointment with the teacher. She should talk to her. So the teacher respected her and knew her from other issues. She's her advisor. And we talked about what would be an ideal response from the teacher. Anyway, she went off to her appointment yesterday, and she calls us up. She says, it couldn't have been any better. The teacher was so upset. She said, I never really read this carefully. The pieces I was given to look at were not this. I just skimmed it. I'm appalled. I'm so sorry. Rebecca said she was near tears. She said, I just can't believe this. I have to fix this. I don't want the other students to go away with. It was like an ideal response. And so today, did she tell you about how it went?
The teacher just went over the chapter with the students.
The key question is, how did you Jews let Jesus get away?
With what?
With just not keeping him alive.
Well, there were other guys who were doing the same kind of thing, you know.
He was one of many, I think.
He was one of several.
Oh, how come we don't hear about the others?
Because the others
They
didn't have PR guys afterwards who decided to do something about this particular teacher. Because all of the stuff happened much, several...
50, 70 years earlier.
Yeah, no, 30 years later.
It was the right time
And
for the
Paul was very clever. He took it out not to the Jews, but to the Gentiles.
Was Paul a Jew?
Yeah, he had this conversion. Remember, he was Saul who became Paul.
On the road to Damascus?
Yeah,
Right.
he fell off his donkey or something.
So he did a very clever thing, which was to convert the Gentiles, not the Jews, because the Jews weren't going to go for it. I mean, you got a bunch of Jews now in New York who are convinced that the Lubavitcher Rebbe was the Messiah.
I love those guys.
Yeah, well, so if they weren't being,
I like
they
the
could
Rebbe.
create their own, separate group and say the Messiah came. But they didn't.
That's one of the things I find fascinating about the Jews, is their cohesiveness in spite of geography. If you find a group wherever, they find something to become common among them.
Well, it became their demise also in Europe and in the Middle East, because people were suspicious of them because they seemed to be able to talk to foreigners. Nobody in those days could talk to foreigners. They didn't have translators, and yet these guys seemed to be able to talk to people all over the world.
Were they speaking Hebrew?
Yeah, they're talking, no, not Yiddish
You mean
necessarily.
earlier?
If they could be using Hebrew, which was not a common language at that time. It was a written language, a reading language, but they would use it if they were talking to fellow Jews who they had no common language with. So they come off like, having suspicious... It's like now, who are the people who Bush is going to be spying on? People who have phone calls abroad, right?
Did you watch the funeral today at all?
No.
Maya Angelou,
How was she?
she was magnificent.
Yeah?
I'm not a big fan of the Kings,
Right.
but I like my, you know, I said his wife, I didn't realize she was such a fucking big deal, but maybe she was or maybe she wasn't. But my Angela spoke and she was eloquent. Really wonderful.
How was King's daughter?
I didn't watch her. And Bill Clinton spoke, and fucking Jimmy Carter spoke. Jimmy Carter should stay in fucking Georgia and never come out.
Why?
Oh, it's too egotistical. You know, I did this, and we're going to do this, and we're going to check on voting here. Go the fuck home and stay there.
You don't think Bill Clinton is egotistical?
No, Bill Clinton is the next person that should stay in Arkansas. He's the fucking reason we have George Bush.
That's right.
You know, Jesus, that's fucking drives me nuts. He should resign as soon as they caught him with his pants down. And the
But
idea.
did he have his pants down? He
Yeah.
didn't have his pants down.
It's like this in this old town down south. They bring this guy out and they say, what were they doing? He said, Your Honor, they were fucking. Oh! You can't say that in this court. 3 days in jail. Goes to jail, comes out. Now this couple here, we want to get the facts on them. What were they doing? Your Honor, they were fucking. Oh! 6 months in jail. Keeps going on, and one guy gets out after a year. Finally comes back. The judge says, now, I want to find out what they're doing. You tell me, and watch your language. He said, Your Honor, his pants were down below his knees. His balls were swinging in the breeze. He had his picture up you know where. If that ain't fucking, I'll take the chair.
Where did he go up with this?
You got this in elementary school.
Is this elementary school?
8th grade.
8th grade, but how do you remember them?
That's a, who knows?
8th grade, Cambridge. No, where were you in 8th grade?
Cambridge.
You
St.
have a
John's.
good
What school?
education
What
in
school?
St. John's.
St.
Parochial
John's.
school, yeah.
Parochial
You went to
school.
parochial school.
Right.
Oh, that's why you got all of this stuff, huh?
That's right.
Right.
It was nuns or
Nuns.
priests.
College students.
Nuns and college students.
No, who were telling the jokes. The nuns weren't telling these jokes.
No, the priests were.
The what?
The priests were. No, actually, I never got touched by a priest.
No? Well, you missed an experience.
Could have had fucking money and a good time.
Now,
Yeah, I could sue now. I always felt sorry for the priests and for the nuns.
if they chose to lead these lives, they're not being forced. Maybe?
I don't know. It's like my children in religion. I would never give them religion and put them through the madness of it.
So what did you celebrate with your kids?
Christmas, Thanksgiving.
Christmas? What religion is that?
It's capitalism.
Oh, capitalism.
That's
And
popular.
whose birthday are we celebrating on Christmas?
Uncle Sammy's.
Uncle Sammy's birthday. Oh, that's Uncle Sam in the creche?
That's right. The dollar sign is across.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that. In that case, I think we should have creches in the middle of the town halls and all those places, squares, right?
I don't care what they do.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
Uh-huh.
That's not a big thing with me.
Uh-huh.
But I just think that children having no religion is better than the madness I went through.
Did your spouses agree with you?
Yeah. Even my daughter, who's married to the son of an Episcopalian minister, they didn't baptize their child. I kept waiting for a party, a baptismal party. But no, they didn't.
The grandparents must be disappointed on the other
I
side.
don't think so. It's like the Episcopal minister at Bard, he didn't believe in God.
Did you tell us a joke where they wink at somebody? Where did we hear that from?
He went in someplace, I don't believe in God.
To the Reformed rabbi, some rabbi.
And
the rabbi winked at him and said, I don't believe in God either. Right.
Well,
that's good news.
I'm turning off the machine. This is our second filming. What's today? Today is February 7th, 2006.
Yep.
And we're at on Graves Avenue in this wonderful house
In South Deerfield.
in South Deerfield. And we're turning off because we're all tired, and we'll do some more filming another day.
I don't have any more stories, I don't think.
I think you do.
Well, one of the things we're going to do is to walk around the house, and you'll talk to us about some of the things that are hanging on the walls, you know, stuff like that. And I'd like you to show us that big room and the work you did on that room.
Okay.
And also the little shed in the back and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear about that. Okay. What's one of the send-offs on television?
It was a young man from, no, not the same one. I can't even think of them.
Do good work. Be good. Right home.
No, that's where the
Right,
girls.
yeah, right.
No, but what did?
Good night and good luck.
Good night and good luck. Yeah.
That's about the newspaper guy.
Yeah. Ed Murrow.